Do 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 do. I didn't open all the windows this morning. 1 second. Oh, it's Friday. There we go. Do, do, do. Greetings, everyone. I am Winnie Wriggle, and welcome back to Vintage Story Meadow Mead. Our little thriving village is slowly growing. I am a woman standing on top of a hill today. That's because today, in addition to doing some chores around the base, we are going to work on planning the house build. The big house, the mansion, the mayoral residence, the resigning residence of royalty, the something. Anyway. So, I've cleared out the top. I've leveled the top of this hill, dug down where rock was poking through, and replaced it with dirt. So we have plenty of room to kind of sprawl here. I have no idea what I'm doing today. Like, I've been putting off this build because I didn't know what I wanted to build. We've been so happy in our little starter house. It's worked out great, but we are just starting to kind of, feel the coziness closing in because we're running out of storage places. But, I winged the tavern too, and it turned out okay, I think. Our flax we planted last time is about halfway there. It's not bad. Let's do just a couple of quick chores. I want to check on the pigs, which should have any babies any day now. I do also want to collect our cattails and do the bees real quick. So let me grab some clay. Dun, dun. That'll work. That's a rock, Winnie. Where'd those come from? There we go. Clay and cattails. And we're just gonna take the cattails from right out of the field to use. I think there should be enough. There should be 2 stacks. Which may or may not. I see you! I see you! It's Rocky's back again. He keeps trying to get in the beehives. Like that, he spends all his time pacing around outside that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Little stinker. But I thought, happy Friday, y'all. I thought we could start with some chill chore doing around the base. Oh, it's very late and it's still very bright. Let's, I think I was doing chores and wanted things to not be quite so dark. We'll put our lantern on instead. How's that? I feel like my gamma is way up too. Hold on. That's about right. It's fine. Maybe it's just darker later because we're in the spring. We'll go with that. It is only 7 p.m., right? I keep my clock on 24-hour time to keep my brain in practice with what we call in the U.S. military time. I used to work as a government contractor many, 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 many moons ago. Mostly for medical things. Don't get excited and think I was some kind of spook. But it did involve a lot of traveling and a lot of coordination with military personnel. And their brains completely ran on military time. They'd end the meeting and be, okay, we'll see you at 0700 tomorrow morning. Okay, let's make... I think all the bees are ready. Yep, harvestable, beautiful. We shall make, I believe... Nope, that's backwards. I think we only need 10 in here. And we can make 8 right now. I'll have to go back for more things. More skips. Okay, so we leave. I typically leave this one and this one. So let's collect these. We'll leave the one in front this time. Yeah, y'all go play with the dummy, please. Don't leave any of the side ones. Oh, I need to be checking and making sure they're harvestable. I think they have been for quite a while, actually. Give me all your honey. Make the little bee dummy punching sounds early in the morning. Da, da, da. Am I out of skips already? Okay, so I need 1, 2, 3, 4 more. So we need 12 in there. I don't recall us having that many beehives, but that's cool. Good news. We have the technology. There's our 4. Did you go back in there? No. We already have 24 honey. That's amazing. You know what else we need in our village? A lighting scheme. A lighting scheme. We need like lamp posts and such, so that we can run around here at night and not worry about it. Okay, I am gonna leave the first one and take the 2 middle ones. And I leave 2 because I'm pretty convinced it makes the repopulating of the rest of the hives much quicker. So it's worth it. And with as many as so we still have 1, 2 populated skeps. And it also gives us an even 36 honey. Well, math. They're very productive this time around. Let's go squeeze that honey out into a bucket. We made mead with it last time, I think. Do we have mead? I made pickled turnip and onion, which we should probably... Do I have some of them on my back? No, but I can just grab those and put them in our beautiful pickle barrel, fresh for 4 years. Oh, nice. That must only be our second round of pickle. Oh, no, we have pickled carrots, too. Nice. So we have pickled carrots, turnips, and onions, which are good for years. This is what I mean by kind of over... Oh, let's put you out in the rot bin. And our cured, smoked, salted red meats, fresh for 13 years. It's pretty good. And we're not in 1.21, so we still have to use a bucket to squeeze our honey. That's okay. That's why we have it down here. Da-da-da. Yes, so for the big house, I mean, we have the color palette. We're going to use the granite, stones, and oak. And probably the brown slate as accents. But I kind of want the same cozy vibe that we're getting out of this house, but with a lot more room to store things, like have a big kitchen and all that. And it's tough. I think sometimes it's tough in Vintage Story to make the compromise between a home that you can like play the game in, where your storage and resources and crafting stuff. I mean, I know you carry your crafting workbench around with you, but storage in particular kind of annoys me. Is that it? 38 liters? Oh no, empty. Whole thing. There we go. Empty bucket. So we have 44.2 liters of honey. As soon as we get a full barrel, we'll make some mead. Oh, there are more pickled veggies. I don't think I realized I had done 2 sets. Oh, that's great. What, did I dream? Oh, we have another shelf. Okay, smoked red meat. Still needs another 10 days to become cured. And then we have some cranberry wine and some red currant wine, which, you know, I don't mind if I do have a little hair of the dog in the morning. Ooh, that's tasty. Maybe I should have stuck to juice. Okay, our honey goes up here. Pardon me, the wax. We have tons of beeswax. That's great. Time for more candles. And then we have a little rot chest, although I think that meat just hit the bucket. Okay. We'll take this. Once it becomes rot, I throw it in here, and then when we get an even amount, like 100 liters, we can go... Do I have any empty barrels? No, but I have our leather. Yay! 24 leather! Okay, and I'm going to stick this rot in here, which is going to turn into compost after a few days. I'm so excited about the leather. That was the other must-do on the list today, which is make our last leather backpack. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to empty my inventory into our little chest, because this game's very picky about when you are moving things out of your storage hotbar section. And then I think I just want to make a little leather backpack. Isn't that just that? Yes. So we'll make one of those, save the rest of our leather, put it in there. Oh, so much storage. Just a reminder for those of you new, I have storage set to double. It's a really simple mod for 1.20. It just increases the vanilla storage items by twice. So instead of 6, it gives me 12. Because I'm a spoiled princess with storage. And nobody's got time on stream to deal with inventory juggling, in my opinion. Okay, let's put our leather away. Nope, you're not my things from animal box. So we're in pretty good shape. I've been buying lumps of fat from our local trader. It's another little low-hanging thing on the list today, is to make a path to our local trader. And we'll put that in there, and then let's go put the blue clay back in storage. Nice. Okay, I'm going to sleep so that we can be working in the daylight. I have a little bit of food. 1 serving of smoked bushmeat stew. Okay, we'll cook something else. Maybe let's use some of our pickled veggies. What do we have? Cured smoked red meat. Let's just go all veggies all the time. So if we made pickled turnips and some, well, I guess we'll use some regular onions. And we'll see how that goes for the foods. Give me the pot. Like so. 6 servings of hefty onion pickled turnip stew. That sounds delicious. And cook away. Ah, that's nice. Very nice. And do I have chat out? I do. Good morning. Happy Friday, y'all. Okay, let's go. Sleepy time. And then hopefully our food will be done by then. And it'll be daylight, so we don't have to work in the dark. We won't sleep long. Just enough to get the sun up, hopefully. And maybe around 5 a.m., which should be 6. There we go. See, we're kind of, like, as cozy as this is, and I guess with the decorative high-capacity chests, it's not bad. But they're, like, they're getting there. Like, yeah. Getting a little crowded up here in the attic. That's okay. Are you done? Not quite. We'll be back. We'll be back when we're hungry. Okay, first order of business is, do we take the main road right up this hill? I think no. I think there has to be a jog in the road, and the road that goes up to the mansion will be down here. So the house will be up on this hill. And we'll make this attractive cliffside look more attractive. And we'll stretch this hillside. Probably should have gotten, let me grab some dirt because I can feel that we will be doing a little bit of terraforming. I already did quite a bit. Do I have any more low fertility? I think we might have to use high. Oh, I do have low. Medium. We'll keep that. Yes, yes. Might as well just put this in our pockets, right? Dum-dum. Dum-dum-dum. So when I say stretch the hillside out, what I kind of mean is something like this. So that we can go up gradually. Like the path is not going to be vehicle friendly, but it should be pack animal friendly, right? So yeah, I think a minimum of 3 blocks before the next up part. It's so hard to stretch hillsides down. It takes so much more vertical space than you think it does. Yeah, so this one's going to be... We may have to push this back, and the road's just going to be kind of sunken in for a little bit. And where do we actually want it to go? Like right in the center of that without being off the grid. So maybe here. And so that would mean... something like this. Right? So I want those stairs long. Do, 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 do. It's a path. And then we'll just go ahead and take it all the way back. And who knows what's going to be up here? Probably more farms, since we have little farms right there. We might put a couple little ones up here. And what we'll do for the path that's kind of sunken down, we'll put little retaining walls along the sides. Right? The path that's been beaten down by time and weather. And then maybe one more. Nope. Oh dear. The puppies are excited. Okay. There we go. More paths. I love, my favorite part is how it starts looking so village-like on the map. Alright, and then the house itself, like we'll figure out paths later. I mean, essentially a path will come up here, right? But which way should the house face? And when I say face, I mean, I think this answers my question. So if we made this hat, that has to be cut back. Because you can't make a path up here. I want at least two wide. And what we may do is pull... I cut this all back. And now I wish I'd kind of left some of the slope. Here's what I mean. I'm going to do this. There we go. Because I want to stretch this out a tiny bit. And we have the room to do it. Okay. And then let's do that here. Making hillsides and vintage story. I still want them to be too wide, right? So we still have to cut this back. 3 would be better. But we'll start with 2. Oh! I knew I would be landscaping today, but that was a new shovel when I started working on this hill. What the heck? Good news is, I believe I have a shovel. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Y'all watch that TikToker? She's precious. Making food for her little family. Some of those recipes are nice and easy. Okay, and then this cliff. Good morning, Kamadogo. How's it going? comma doggo. Doggo. I see a puppy. Gotta be doggo. Hi, doggo. How's it going? It's so funny. I call my puppies doggo in the morning when I'm tired. Okay. That gets us up to the house at some point in some fashion with little like gardeny type thing, pathways, whatnots. And so I think we would have given some kind of clearance before we start dealing with house. I'm glad you're good. Welcome. We're playing in the big house, which I'm great. I have been dreading this build for some reason. I don't know why. Probably because the way I see it in my head is always not as good as what ends up in game. Okay, we're gonna make a front porch, and then there's gonna be like not too deep. 3 blocks deep, 5 blocks deep. I think 3 is plenty. And the house is going to kind of ramble off to the right since we don't have a whole lot of room to the left. We have a front porch. And that's the doorway. And we need this part to be even so that I can put double doors. Unless we off-center the doors. So doors are going to be here. And maybe we do off-center it. Maybe we shift the whole thing to the right. So that I can have odd numbered walls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. $10 if we wrap it up. Like so. That's a good sized porch. Some stairs there. Doorway in. And then this room, maybe we'll give it a little bit of a buffer. How much room do we have to go out over here? Not a lot. I'm wondering if this is a good, like, kitchen right to the left would be nice. That's one of the best views, right? I want our views, and then this view is going to be main windows looking down over the village to the docks that are going to be out there. But this is beautiful too. Okay, so entryway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Where does that put us? What does 3 and 3 give us if we go back? Gives us a nice size room, right? We don't want to make rooms too big. I've made this mistake before in past builds, and I spent the winter being very cold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's do 9 by 9s or 8 by 8s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That should be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Seems a little big. I like our cozy vibe. But I still want enough space for storage and whatnot. That might be... That should be good. Right? For kind of living area-ish. And then... What kind of shenanigans would be off of here? So if I kept pulling this wall this way, we would have some room that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we could probably zhuzh this corner here. Zhuzh being the technical term for making shit wider than it was. Right? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little smaller room. Maybe this is our storage. A little 5 by 5. Or bedroom. Don't know. We like houses with interesting shapes. Like you could build a giant rectangle But then it won't look as cool when you're done. Okay, kitchen has to be at least 7 by 7. I love a big kitchen. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even if I have to drag that hill down a little more, we will. 3, 4, 5, 6. Is 6 wide gonna make me crazy? Probably. Okay, we'll landscape the crap out of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, keeping them even makes the roofing easier, but the house more boring. Don't know. Maybe our main room is bigger. That's a wee kitchen. It is a wee kitchen. Let's try to give us a little bit more space here. Even if I have to go back and build down the hillside to make it look normal later. We're not scared of a little terraforming. Right? The problem with leaving a house like on the edge is it looks unsteady and unstable. See, I've ended up making these strange... Like, I end up just making a giant square and dividing it into chunks. That's okay. Okay, kitchen can have interesting... Maybe we put a... Oh, I'm hungry. Eat. We want big, pretty windows everywhere, right? So maybe our kitchen has a nice bay window. 1, 2, 3, 4. How about 5? And depending on where that is, will help us with how wide that wall needs to be. And I think it needs to be 1 block over, so we don't have crowded corners. Oops. Only dirt goes at the dirt level. What is that? Does that become centered in there? That's a BDW. A big dang window. That's okay. I think that'll be important. I like making our walls 2 walls thick in some places. And then we end up with places to put things on the edges of a room. So that's a 1, 2, 3, and that's a 1, 2, 3, and that's a 1, 2, 3. It's probably good to do it here. That's a nice big kitchen. And then on one of these ends, maybe this one will be a much smaller... this is where the cooking stove will go, right? Cooking area. So we'll have something that looks like a chimney on the back of that wall. All right, so you come up to the house. There'll be stone there. Porch. Window. Ah, see, and this is why we need to adjust as we go. Let's try that. So now we'll have window, even. Only not big, like a little window. Right? And I guess that does center our... Because we don't know what it's like inside. That puts 2 blocks over there. Do we bring this in so that it's even? Probably, yes, because that'll make me crazy. Okay. And then maybe there's a little staircase off of here too. Because you want to be able to go off of your porch in many different directions. And then this is some little room that we don't know yet. The kitchen is stepped back. I wonder if we should step this one back. Since we have so much more room here, I'm going to do it. so that we kind of get some symmetry. It also will help with roofing to have these on the same line. And and then I'm going to shove this one out like I did the kitchen, to have it go past. Because then this can be a hallway. Yes, yes, maybe. Does that become a hallway and that become a door to whatever this is? I don't know. I like the idea of a hallway. I'm not sure we need one. But sometimes it's fun to have that instead of rooms just willy-nilly. Maybe we have, what is that? 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what if I did 2 little 5x5s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes building on a grid is good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What would we use those for? Who knows? Above ground cellar. That's what I'd really like. So maybe this is food storage. Which makes sense because then it would be off the kitchen. And then I gotta have a nice double door here. Because hallway. I'm always looking for opportunities for arches over my doors. Right? Wonder if I should make this 1 block bigger. So that I can... We're just going to shove this wall back 1 block. Maybe not here. Yes, here. The planning phase is always the exciting phase. So now what? Now, should I shrink this room? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I kind of like it being 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pushing all the walls back. Not quite far enough. Still want a double door here. This is what I'm trying to achieve. There we go. Okay. Nice. Which means this doesn't have to be too much further. Because we don't really... Do we care? Oh, we probably care. Does it make our kitchen giant? You know what? That's okay. We'll have like a nice seating area over here. Like cooking, pretty view, cabinet storage. Yep. Kitchen's going to be the biggest room in the house. That's a feature. With our precious little archways, right? We want to keep the cozy vibe. We want a cozy vibe. Now we need to make these rooms 1 block bigger. Hold on. Since I stole some of their square footage. And little 5x5 storages become really easy to handle. So this would be right off the kitchen. This would have a double door into the hallway. Right? And all this would be up 1 block. Up 2 blocks. God, this is just, we're just looking at the footprint right now. Speaking of the footprint, what do we look like on the map? That's a nice, interesting looking build, right? Like, where's our front porch? I'll stand this way. There we go. So you would come up from the path up the hill. And we need a back door somewhere. I think what we're gonna do is put one out the back of the kitchen right here. I'm gonna put it up here because this will actually be a couple blocks up. We wanted a couple blocks up. Like, what did we do? Our starter house is 1 block above. Is it 1 or 2? It's kind of 1. Like, I stepped it up from here. We went up 1, but we've kind of, and then this room goes up 1 again. And that's part of what makes this interesting, is the 2 main rooms are on a different level. Right? But instead of that, I think we want to, I'm just going to grab the cobblestone so we can look at it together. Because we're using granite dry and granite cobblestone. Eventually. See, and if I would stay on the path, I would go faster. Whee! Yeah, we'll just come right up here. Ah. And that'll be a little door. Oh, that's not the kitchen. Derp. I was turned around. I think that's going to be the work and storage room. This is the kitchen, and we need a door out here. Like, that runs down. This is, and we connect up to the path that goes to the trader down there. And I think this kitchen door would be, I don't know that it would be centered, but I don't think it matters right now. And just 1 block, one wide. And these need to be much taller. Because they will be. I just want the placeholders for them. I think we're going to make... Here's my thought. We still need basements, right? Because it's fun to have a basement, especially for long-term storage. So our foundation, if we can swing this, I want the foundation to be just 2 bricks high. Are you regular? You're just cobblestone, right? Yeah. Like so. So everywhere we walk on the main floor is 2 blocks off the ground. It gets us up in the air so our views are better a little bit. And it gives us pre-dug out basement level. Like, we don't have to go down as far. And even more importantly, it gives me the opportunity to put like transom windows, like basement level windows here. So if I dug down, and maybe they wouldn't be under the porch, they might be in different places. So, and then put leaded glass and you could see into the basement level. in some places, and maybe they'd be little windows like that. Right? And then these would be pretty stairs of some kind. So yeah, I think, which means the doorways would actually literally be up here, because all of this would be cobble. I like it. Like, maybe one of the best places to have a cellar would be under the kitchen. I don't know where I want to spend time making, because it takes up space to have a stairway down, right? Okay, and then if I'm gonna have this little weird room, where's its door? Probably right in the corner, right? 2 rooms. The workshop room. Maybe library? Library. Library. Main room. Kitchen. Y'all should be across from each other. Are we happy with that? Is this a big enough room when you come into the house? I think so. If we have an upstairs, this is where the staircase is. And it will probably come up over here and then over the door. Do I need to shove the whole thing back, though? No. Does this have to be a hallway? No, but it gives us an opportunity to display art and things. Part of the reason I want an interior hallway is that there won't be any windows, so it'll be good wall space for some of the tapestries and things. Right? Let's go sleep, because doing this in the dark is for the birds. Sleepy time. And we should make more. I'm gonna need to make all the cobble, clearly. What do I have? I have some ashlar. I'm sure I have granite stone. Yes. And let's use some red clay. And just generate a metric ton of cobble. And also, while I have the ashlar, let's do some dry stone. So that's 66 dry stone. 98. Gonna need a bunch more granite for the cobble. Okay, that's a stack and some. And we're officially out of granite stone. But I have plenty of red clay, and I'm fairly sure I have granite slabs. Like quarried granite. Because I was planning for this. I have 3 of them. Stone. We may have to go quarrying later. We'll see how far this gets us. Wow. Okay, slate was the 3rd. I used chert in this build's kitchen because it goes so well. Let's look at that before we sleep. You see how I used chert with the granite, polished granite and the slate walls, and it made it just very cozy in here. Like, it's dark, but very cozy. And then this is just the pure granite with a little bit of the granite ashlar blocks. Do we have some more of that? I have some. Oop, that's gravel. And I have aged ashlar. And some cracked and one skull. Okay, let's grab our food. I'll eat in the morning when we get up. And let's sleep through the night real quick. Just to bring the sunlight back so we can see to build. I feel like our music is turned off. I keep waiting for music. Oh my goodness. How terrible. Let's give it. I like the music. I must have had it off for recording or something. It's another glorious morning in Vintage Story. Oh, it's going to be nice. I think I want to err on the side of not making it too big. I would rather go up than out, I think. How are we looking from here? This room needs I need 2 bay windows in here. And they don't have to be fancy. And we will likely chisel them. So I'm going to make them pretty deep. They won't look that close by the time we're done with them. So this should be the library. I think if we have these giant bay windows, that is absolute library fodder. Okay. And then these are going to be windows, but up higher. Okay, I'm just making sure we're happy with the outside before I start replacing everything with cobble. Functionally, what are we talking about? So, front porch has my seed holders and my trees and all that stuff. Main inside room, stairs up. And so this would go up, and this would go up. So it's plenty clear. Oh, and we wouldn't even start at that level, but you know what I mean. Okay, that works. Stairs next to the kitchen, stairs next to the library, I don't know. Either way will work. There's plenty of room. We have a 3x3 to put stairs in, basically. And then you come out here into here where we have our beautiful tapestries on the walls and above the doors and everything. And then there's a little, because we're off the kitchen, this is an actual cellar. If we make it out of pure stone, so that means this corner of the house would be stone. In fact, the whole back of the house would be stone. We need 2 cellars? No, I think just 1. There's 1 of us. I'm not feeding a whole server of Vintage Story people. But that begs the question, should I have the cellar like right off the kitchen? In which case, I don't know what these 2 rooms would be. Like, we're getting away with 3 rooms in the starter house, right? The kitchen, the living area, which is where all our storage is. So if this is the library, then my storage is Maybe we do make one of these babies' room the storage room. Like, because those high capacity chests, which are these, 2 of them together store 20 slots more than a double chest. So we could easily store everything we need in maybe a wall of 10 of them or 12. So the tiny space would suit us. Okay, and then there should be a door into the house from this side of the house. And I know we have the kitchen door. I'll need to build up this hillside, I think, so that we can walk around it. And maybe there would be a kitchen garden out here. Potentially. Maybe. Or would it be out this way? Like, we have 2 fields right there. And then I think we'll have a couple more as you come up that hill. Yeah. I think this is good. I don't think I feel like tearing down any walls or moving things. Okay, let's start making this look like a thing. Where am I cobble at? We're going to start with all cobble. And I will add the dry stone after the fact. And I'm going to leave that as demarcating stairs. And yes, I'm just going to build up all the walls with cobble from the bottom. Even though they might be interior walls. We might eventually have a really complicated basement with lots of nooks and crannies. Oh, and this begs the question, what material are we going to make the floors out of? Wood? What have we done in here? Like, we made it... Hi, Bunny. We made it granite in the other house. Oh, we did fanned cobble. I think that'll be great in the kitchen. Our veggies don't have very much saturation. I think the kitchen should have the slate, the complementary slate floor. Because look how it looks so good with the granite cobble. I love it. It's dark. But our living areas... What are we doing here? We did the fan cobble again. Bunny, we're just going to chase you all the way through the buildings. I used pine on the second floor in here. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, we have polished granite throughout here. But this was our starter home. And I feel like our library would need to have actual wooden floors. So let's do this. We'll use the rammed earth right now for flooring. And we can do floors later. Unless I have that slate cobble. How much do I have of the fanned? Not a lot. Okay, I'll have to make more of that. Floor decisions can be later. We'll go with walls and structure right now. And I gotta keep an eye on the clock. Okay. I started a little late today, so we should be able to go a little more. Oh, and if I were really cool, and I'm not saying I am, let's at least use a version of the rammed earth that's fun. So if I throw you in there, and then do it again, and then do it one more time, we get kind of the bricky looking version. there. Which may or may not be a good thing. Maybe inside we'll use the plane. Okay. And this is our pretend staircase, which we can get rid of. Didn't know you'd be building this twice with me today, did you? It's just so much easier. There's something about using the rammed earth that feels like it's just easier to move and move walls and talk about things that are part of the design. Because it's just dirt. Okay. I need to collect a lot of this. Do not want to lose our giant bay window plan here. I did promise chill, cozy building vibes. The satisfying thunk of a vintage story block being put down. And yeah, we'll have to change this up, otherwise it'll be a giant cobblestone edifice. Da, 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 da. There we go. I think we'll put, I think the door's going there, so we'll put markers there. And then here, what else to say about building while I'm building? Don't be afraid to tear it down if you don't like it. It's kind of my favorite thing to do. Haha. Because many times I will find myself in a hurry. I'd be like, oh, just get something down so you can get your resources moved in. Which is not a terrible way to plan and do. But also, it means that I end up spending twice as long sometimes getting things the way I want them. I think these are going to be wood, but I'll leave placeholders so I know where I want the doors. You'd be amazed what happens if I don't pay attention to where I thought doors were. Suddenly I'll build a whole room and there will be no door. And that is never good. Okay. I think we'll pick up all our blocks and fill this in. So we can walk around and look at the shape of things. My goal is just to get the design and the main architecture done today. And like we're doing, replace the outline with the actual primary building materials. With the exception of the floors. Like floors that don't work fine. But I need to go cut down our oak forest back there so that we have enough oak to do this project. Where did that go? Who knows? I heard a block set down. You may think, why don't you just tear the whole thing down and replace the wall? Well, you'd be amazed at how quickly my brain forgets what I had planned. That's why I'm being a little careful. I'm saying, this wall goes here. Also, it gives me the opportunity to get up out of the ditches, mostly. We could do this 3 high, but I've done that in another build in the past, and it's a little too high. It feels out of scale to have a foundation. Like, we're going to struggle with this, but we're going to hide some of it with bushes and plants and trees and things. From a distance, this is going to be a really good scale of foundation to house. I think we are just going to have enough cobble to do this. And what I may do is go around to what we've already done and start replacing some blocks with the dry stone. Da, da. Okay, we got the... I think we're going to get the main spaces done, which is all I really care about. That's great. And we'll go tear up some of these slabs and make a little bit more cobble. Boom. Oh, I have another stack of 41. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, Willis. We'll just put, what did I say? This one needs to be here. Yep. So many little blocks. Give me all those. There we go. It's starting to look like a house. Kind of, or a foundation for one. I will fix those arches. I know it's probably making some of you crazy. What are you, a hobbit? I mean, maybe. Maybe. And then we'll go back and look at it in all of its glory. I am gonna still need to make more cobble. It's okay. Oop. We almost did it. That was like 350 cobble. 300 cobble. Okay, now what does it look like from up top? Not as clearly defined lines, but it is an interesting shape. We can definitely go further back. And how does it compare to our starter house? I think that's what's interesting. Because we've added porches and things onto the starter, our foot and the roof, our footprint for this is similar. I may end up changing my mind about these 2 rooms in the back. I don't know. But I think kitchen definitely is set. Entryway is set. Porch is lovely. And library. But that does mean that I haven't really... Like, if these are storage and crafting... So, cellar? Or do we just go with cellar underneath? We'll probably need to go under. Let me put the door placeholders back. Hopefully I got that in the right place. Yes, because it should like flow from one to the other. I love it. This as well. Double doors everywhere because I like them. And it gives me the opportunity to do arches. Whereas a single door is kind of... meh. It's a technical term. Meh. Oops. There we go. So this room is going to be nothing but doors. Like, I guess that's okay. There'd be corner doors and stairs. So if I did stairs here, and that has to be flat, and then that can go up. Yeah, we do clear the door, which is great. And I like my rooms 5 blocks high. Because that means that that 5th block can be the floor of the next level. Right? So we end up with a living space that's 4 blocks high. That feels nice and tall. I say that, we may go one more up. So I can put beams with a ceiling above it. I don't know. That's a long way to go upstairs. What if we do... Let's check ceiling height, because this is a great time to do it. If I did ceilings like here, which means the floor of the floor above us, does that give me enough room to put like beams and still have plenty of living space? Yes. Okay, I like that. And this would be a stair block and a stair block to a flat and a stair, 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 stair. And I don't think we'd notice. Can I still clear the door and make a double wide stair? That's the other question. Not really. The real question is... See, that would be a stair block. Stair, stair, and then... Would this be a narrow stair up there? Like, would anybody notice if the first part's too wide? Yeah. Because this is wall, right? We don't need fancy stairs. They just need to get us to the next floor. And that way we still have room to put something cool there. Yes? Yes. Me likey. Okay, let's do a little bit of dry stone work while we're here. To recover some of our cobble. And when I say dry stone, I'm literally just gonna kind of punch out a few blocks, replace it with dry stone. And keep doing that around the edge. Oop. No, give me that back. The dry stone is really pretty. Let's put it in this corner. We're texturing. Because we don't want it to be all that boring cobble the whole time. Not that we're going to see anything on the inside. Let's not waste it on the inside. And this way we have enough cobble to finish. Aha! She says, and then she immediately goes back and adds texture to it. Sometimes you just gotta build it with a boring block and then fix it later. See, like, I love this version of the dry stone. I'm not as crazy about this one. So sometimes I'll go back and be like, what version is going to be there? And then I don't like that one. So we replace it with cobble again. Like these two are identical in a row. Why, game? What is your determination of which one? That's okay. Oops. A little laggy there. A little friendly spike. There we go. Something like that, and now I'm getting to the point where I can't see. It's a feature. A lot of dry stone in the bay windows because they're fun to chisel. They just come out looking more interesting, I guess. I like them on the corners. Okay, and then this whole thing, it's not going to surprise me. I'm probably going to do this entirely in dry stone. The chimney thing. There we go. Maybe one right under our feet here. And one over the window, and let's go sleep so we can actually see that. Yeah, this little house is just two rectangles smashed together. It's not that crazy special. We just made it look good on the outside. I think the same is true for our tavern and stables, which are just fundamentally, they're just giant rectangles. So we're building some more complicated rectangles so it's more interesting looking outside and make it easier to make it interesting looking outside. Whew. A lot of Winnie rambling and dithering today. But we've gotten past the hardest part, the hurdle of the design. It's a hot mess from here. Could I have gone into Creative World and built this all and decided like what it's going to look like? Sure. Absolutely. But I kind of thought y'all might be interested in the process that goes through my head as I work on builds. It's both easier and harder, maybe, than you think it is. I think one of the most important things to communicate is you may not be alone in your self-doubt. I never think my stuff's gonna turn out good until it gets built. I think, oh god, another. What if I fail this time? What if it's not as good? Well, then you just tear it down and build it again. That's my usual philosophy. If I'm like, oh, I hate this, I did it. If any of you are watching me in my reclamation series, that's exactly what happened with that base. I built a whole house. I did all this off camera over a weekend. I built a whole house, primarily cherry with some dark oak, like cherry walls, dark oak pillars, whatever, and very, you know, kind of run-of-the-mill classic Minecraft house, 5 blocks high and like a ranch. And it was terrible. Like, it just was boring. It was awful. So I tore the whole thing down, and it was about this big, I want to say. Like, this was about the footprint, maybe slightly larger. I built the whole thing and tore it down, every block. And then went back to the drawing board. Because part of my problem is I was dealing with resources and like materials that were in huge chests. You know, in that other block game, it's hard to move stuff like that. And so I was kind of trying to build around it. And that messed up my build process. Right? Because there was visual clutter in my way. And so I ended up just making a ton of, if you never believe, birch blocks, like planks. And cranked up some of my favorite playlists. And just built, like, every happy mistake I ran with. Like, weird circle-shaped rooms, long modern... I don't build modern ever at all, and I just went with a modern vibe. And it came out really interesting and fun. And I really like it. And it's not done yet. But it's much better than the 2 test builds I had built and then tore down. I think this is going to be a great little house. The hallway is for our art goodies. And maybe we'll have another gallery in the basement too with our more creepy items. And then I think we really do need a cellar, probably under the kitchen. So if we look at this, she falls off the wall. Let's try to make a decision about where that staircase goes. I thought about putting the staircase down underneath our up staircase, but that can be tricky. So if we walk into the kitchen here, and this is our cooking area. And this is a giant bay window with all of our, like maybe our seating area, because maybe seating area is there in the bay window. Which means we do have some floor space over here for a stairway. So if we went down two down right here, we should be able to get down far enough to turn. So I have to go back 1. Do I have any stairs on me? No. So that would be a stair. That would be a stair. The next one would be a stair. And then this would be flat, and we would fit. Okay. I don't think we've made... So the maximum a cellar can be is 7 by 7. So maybe what we do is build a cellar into the back of the kitchen. So this room is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we put a wall here, then this technically, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, we could absolutely make that a cellar. Cool. I still think we should go down another couple blocks. Probably 2 more. Something like this. This is fun in the dark. Where's my lantern? There we go. One basement coming up. Oh, the glorious sandstone that I don't use. Because we're not in a desert build. Okay, I think this will be great. Let's go ahead and use some dry stone down here. And we, of course, will replace the walls with cobble and dry stone. Right. Very good, very good. And probably have only a single wide door here because cellar. Nice. And maybe there's even a... Isn't this a hillside? It is. I don't know if that ruins our cellar characteristics or not. Good morning, koala. We'll think about that. Right, for now it's just a dark hole in the ground until we get more cobble. So I think I will be running to our... If we look on the map, we have granite supply right... Nope. Up here. Somewhere. Here. Granite, gravel, and sand is a huge area where I've been strip mining. Using the quarry mod. I mean, there's more over here too. But this is easier to get to, I think. And it gives me a chance to come up to our 2 treasure hunter traders. So there's that. It's only a hop, skip, and a jump. Okay, well there is our... Right now it looks a little... Look, oop, if I can face the right direction. There we go. Looks a little MC Escher. But it's a floor plan for a house. I'm very excited about. Need to do a little bit of resource collection. Gotta go mining for granite. Maybe we'll do that on camera together. Get out of the house next time. And we need more slate. I'll have to decide what pieces of the house get to be what colors, right? And then whether we go like we've done for all the other buildings where we have plaster on the 2nd floor. I think that's probably the direction we're headed. Because the village is probably going to look... We want it to look, what's the word? Cohesive? Kind of, and one of the easiest ways to do that if you're doing a build with multiple buildings is to make them all the same materials, right? So we'll definitely have, like, we may have a different color roof, but our slate will likely feature heavily in the design along with the cobble. Definitely for the floors. I like the slate fanned cobble is just beautiful. So we'll go that direction. But that is all I have time for today. Thank y'all very much for watching and hanging out with me this morning. If you liked this stream, please leave a like because that helps me out and I really appreciate it. In the meantime, remember, you are all the shiny stuff that awesome is made of. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.